Forgetting. 5, 4, 3. Hello and welcome to Gotham Sounds NAB Coverage 2026. We're back, this time with Ryan Burke from Rode Microphones.
Welcome, yeah.
Thank you, thanks for having us. So we are here, we were just talking with Electrosonics,
yes.
Your partners in crime.
Yes,
and now,
absolutely.
What's that? Oh yeah, again, and I got to remind everybody we're live. If the cell service gets a little dodgy, we will re-upload a copy of this onto our YouTube video, our YouTube platform, and also please ask any questions that you may have. Anyway, so yeah, we were just talking with your partners in crime, Electrosonics.
Yep.
They were showing off the S1 and the L1, which
yes.
was a product of your collaboration. But what do you have from that side of the
So
collaboration?
what we have is the other side of that collaboration, which is we've been working with Electrosonics now for quite a long time, which actually led up to the whole acquisition of them into the Friedman Group, on our UHF wireless platform. Mm-hmm. So this is the RodeLink II system. So 2 transmitters and a kind of camera hop style receiver that you can also mount up for a sound bag or anything like that. But basically this is a wireless system that's designed around really nice usability. Mm-hmm. So particularly a lot of our customers here at Rode are single operators, that have to run audio and video at the same time. And we wanted to give them a platform that was UHF so that they had really good stability, no issues with body blocking, but in a really intuitive, kind of operation. So that's what the RodeLink II was born from. So the entire UHF stack was designed by Electrosonics, so with their decades of experience. The codecs, everything that is actually operating your UHF and your audio the whole time, that's Electrosonics. And that was kind of what led to Electrosonics, becoming part of the Friedman Group, was this collaboration on both sides where they reached out to us for our experience developing the world's best lav mic. And on the same token, we wanted the world's best UHF, so that's why we started talking to them on the other side of that.
So let's talk a little bit about the usability of it, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So we've got full UHF. Is it 470 to 608?
470 to 614, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got
so
it.
full range, but obviously then it's region, specific. Right. So basically the system, when you first, set it up, it'll be, set to your region, and then that'll give you the fence for where you need to be.
Got it. So let's talk about the usability, because the last RodeLink, right? That was 2.4.
It
right?
was,
And it did auto frequency. It was just paired and you went. So how does this one go?
Yeah, so this one is trying to take that same DNA of making it really easy to use. And, one thing that we're trying to do is we want to make something that an experienced operator, feels at home with. You can set frequencies, you can, kind of operate it just like you would a normal UHF system. But we needed to kind of bridge that gap for the people that are used to just an automatic setup system to make it really easy and really fast. So the way that it works is you turn it on and you can scan for frequencies. So it'll check and it'll assign you 2 frequencies, one main frequency and a backup frequency that it'll automatically hop to. So the system has a back channel, a sub-gigahertz back channel. All of the control happens from the receiver, and then it pushes the changes to the transmitters. But what that gives us in operation is we can scan for frequencies and get your main and your backup frequency. If the system detects any errors or drops, it'll automatically hop to the next frequency, just like the original, kind of RodeLink Filmmaker kit, which was in the 2.4 band, but this is UHF. So. Yes, it's in the 900 meg band. And then the nice thing there about that system is it also has adaptive transmit power. So basically, to extend the battery life, if we're in close range, you've got really good signal, we don't need to be running at 20 milliwatt, for instance. We can run at 1 or 2 until we start detecting that we're losing a little bit of signal, and then we automatically start, transmitting higher power.
So the receiver is coordinating with the transmitter in that 900 megahertz range.
Yeah.
Adjusting the power, adjusting the frequency.
Adjusting power, frequency hops, any settings on board, triggering recording start-stop, all of that kind of stuff. So the transmitters themselves, you can pop open the side here and see you've got a micro SD card. You can record 32-bit floating point audio, so no clips at all. And then that little system there, just pops in, same battery in the transmitter and the receivers. In the kit, you get a couple of lavs, you get all the accessories that you need in this nice little case, as well as your antennas, and you can see that they can pop on here. We also have accessories coming to be able to mount this up, just in a sound bag and have your antennas, kind of separate and facing up.
Wow.
But the primary, kind of...
I just want to, this is actually pretty genius that you guys have made the antennas, because it's just a complaint that people have with a lower cost wireless like this, that the screen is never on the top.
Yes,
and
exactly.
next to the antennas, so that's...
Exactly, and that was the idea with this system, is like we wanted something that was at home on a camera, and you can see right here, on top of this camera, it sits on a cold shoe mount, but with the way that we've developed it, we have a really nice little accessories range where we can pop off this entire shoe mount, we can put a belt clip on, you can have the antennas, with a separate accessory on the top in your bag, but it's a really nice system, really nice bright screen as well. You'll see this when it boots up, and I can go through, the various different, record modes, things like that. But nice OLED display, easy to trigger recordings on your transmitters straight from that big red button on top as well. So if you're a camera operator, for instance, and you want to be able to, record on the transmitters, you just simply press that big red record button, and now you're tracking on the TXs. So complete backup all the time. Now it also has time code. So time code in and out. So you can see on the side here we've got our output, but we also have our dedicated time code port. And so that can obviously be synchronized straight with your camera, but you can also jam sync it with an external system. So I could get a few different RodeLink II systems and jam them all together. And they're running a super accurate TCXO, a super accurate clock on all three elements. So you'll have less than one frame of drift in a 24-hour period, and often up to a 48-hour period.
Wow.
So the USB actually also gives you an audio output, but you can use that for configuration. So if you actually want to run USB audio, you can actually take both of your channels and run that straight in. And another really cool thing that we have is with our dynamic range extension that we're doing, we're functionally getting 32-bit float over the air. So what we do is what we're transmitting from the TXs is the full range of the entire audio circuit into the receiver. And from there, what we can do on the receiver end is we can actually do all sorts of different output processing. So we have what we call gain assist, in a lot of our systems where it's basically intelligent dynamics control that is looking at voice activity detection as well. So it's not going to start boosting silences, things like that. And that all happens on the receiver end. So what you're getting is the raw, unprocessed 32-bit float audio straight from the lav on the transmitter, but on the receiver, we can then process that in different ways. So
got it. So there's no gain adjustment on the transmitter at all. Wow.
You can adjust the nominal gain on the unit. So the output gain on this, you can set to suit your setup, your sound bag, anything like that. But it is just a nominal gain adjustment. So you're not actually changing the dynamic range that you can record on the transmitter. So whether it's someone super loud or very, very quiet, a lot of people with 32-bit float, I'm sure your audience understands it very well, but a lot of people think it's all about not clipping. But it's also about not having noise when you're boosting as well, because you're not then right down in the noise floor. So
you're not over-recording, you're not under-recording,
exactly.
you're just recording.
Yeah, exactly right. So when you're recording with the RodeLink II system, just as long as you've got TXs on and recording, you've got everything. Then it's all about your workflow, and at least you can have peace of mind that that's all recording. And then for the receiver end, whether you're a camera operator who's going straight into camera, or whether you're a sound operator that's splitting it out and going into another recorder, you've got a secondary level there. So.
And can you trigger? Let's say you've got 4 of the receivers in a bag. Can you trigger that all from the app? Just with
you can trigger everything from the receiver end, and we also have a Bluetooth control app, Rode Central, for that. And so basically you trigger the units directly on board to record.
Right, but can you trigger multiple at once, I guess?
It's a great question, actually. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if we've got that implemented, but it's a great idea, and maybe that should be one of our key features. Yeah.
Very cool. All right, well look, there's a ton of questions here.
Sure, yeah. Hopefully I'll be able to answer them.
So somebody asked about the Rode S1. Do you have an S? Is the S? That's Electro.
The S1 is actually Electrosonics product. Yeah.
Okay.
So they worked with our engineers on that as well, but that is a Electrosonics product made in the USA.
Great. Okay, so I will refer you to our previous video video with Carl from Electrosonics on that. Let's see. Ashuto wants to know, are the antennas on the transmitter detachable?
Not on the transmitter. So the transmitter has a fixed antenna. They're very robust. This is a similar setup that you would find in some of the Electrosonics products as well. And when it comes to all of our UHF, kind of experience in that space as a group now, we're definitely leveraging the knowledge that Electro has.
It looks like an LMA antenna to me. Okay. So Kyle wants to know, what's the delay on the system?
The delay is extremely low. It's in the region of about 1 to 2 milliseconds. Yeah.
Got it. What's the runtime on a transmitter at medium power?
So it just depends on, I couldn't tell you exactly at a specific, power range, but obviously being adaptive, it will depend on the environment that you're in. But, if you're in a decent environment, you'll be getting, around that 8-hour, kind of time for a system. For very specific, kind of power output power ranges, we'll be publishing that online so people can, get an idea of that.
Got it. Okay. So more questions. Is this true diversity or antenna diversity?
So we have antenna diversity, and we also do frequency hopping whenever it detects that there's any kind of dropout. So both of the transmitters are, being picked up by both of the antennas at all time. And so if we do detect any issues, we're choosing the most favored antenna for that.
And what's the audio output is on the 1/8 inch, is that right?
Yeah, so we have the 1/8 inch output here, and you can then split that out into your bag. We also have USB output for that as well.
Oh, so that's split, so that's left and right.
Yeah,
so you're going to get an
right
unbalanced signal out of there.
Yes.
Okay, got it. And so that's probably what, maximum negative 10 dB in terms of, okay, perfect. What else? Hold on. Does it the transmitter? Does it have a full 5-volt bias for all lavs?
Yes, it does actually, and it also has the ability to power, some upcoming, kind of higher current draw microphones that you'll see in the range over time. So.
And then this is the full digital. This is based on the Electro digital spec.
Digital.
Okay, perfect. We did that. Hold on. Sorry, I'm just going through all of these fantastic questions. What is the price going to be?
So the price point is going to be $14.99 for the kit. That is 2 transmitters and the 1 receiver with all of the accessories with it. So you get lavs, you get all of your different clips, output cables, all that kind of stuff in this little kit.
And then that's great. And when are they going to be available?
They should be available. Let me just think about this for a second. I think, what are we at now? I think we're around August for this to be in market.
Got it. Okay. And then the batteries, I know there's specific batteries. Can you buy the batteries separately and charge them separately?
You can get the batteries separately, and there is an accessory charger, which, give me a moment, I might even have one here, that we will be releasing to be able to charge those batteries, and you can just pop them in just like that and charge all 3 at one time just with a USB-C connector. So that charger will be coming at the same time.
Got it. Okay.
It's the RS2 charger.
And is this a specific type of battery or?
It is a standard battery. We're calling it the LB2. I've completely blanked on the reference design for that battery, but it is a common battery.
Okay, yeah, so it's probably for a DSLR camera or something like that.
It's from a Nikon DSLR.
Okay, perfect. Well, I think somebody also wanted to ask about the Rode Streamer X2, if there's one in development.
Okay, so at the moment, the biggest focus has been on the video side around the Rodecaster video range. And so, if you have a look just behind us here, you can see there's a couple of amazing products in that range. We have the Rodecaster Video, which is the first one that we released that gives you your 4 HDMI inputs, 2 HDMI outputs, loads of different functionality. We also have the Rodecaster Video S, which we just released, which is a smaller version of that, that basically gives you 3 HDMI inputs, 1 output, a lot of control from the computer. And our big focus has been around expanding that product family. So we also just launched the Rodecaster Video Core, which is a headless version of that, that you can even configure to run in 4K capture mode to be able to get, basically 3 4K capture cards straight into OBS or any other, software switching solution. So not a Streamer X2, but we have a lot of different video products in that space.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Ryan, thank you so much. And just to recap, because somebody just asked, but $14.99 for that.
Yeah.
Give me the product name one more time.
This is the RodeLink II.
The RodeLink II, perfect.
Yeah.
RodeLink II, UHF wireless from Rode, powered by Electrosonics. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all
guys.
your great comments. We will be back with more from NAB 2026. If you have any questions, email us at info@gothamsound.com.